The 2024 Chicago Cubs, a team full of talented yet seemingly underperforming players, a fan base with sky-high expectations ever since winning the 2016 World Series, a championship that broke the longest drought ever of 108 long, hard years. Chicago is looking for a franchise cornerstone, somebody that's top 25 in baseball and somebody that you know is going to come through when it matters most. The Chicago Cubs right now are lacking that player caliber. And while the farm system's really good, time can only tell if the next Cubs superstar is still in development. As of right now, the Cubs don't have an Anthony Rizzo. They don't have a Chris Bryant, and they don't have a Javier Baez. The Cubs have a lot of good, but not great talent. And as of June 25th, the time of this recording, those good talents really aren't cutting it. Cubs do have some bright spots on their roster and in their farm system, though. Shota Imanaga and Justin Steele look to headline their rotation for the next few seasons and have potential to be some of the best left-handed pitching this league has to offer. You also have hitters like Seiya Suzuki and Christopher Morel, neither really living up to expectations this season so far, whether that's because of injuries or just flat-out underperforming. My goal in the Chicago Cubs rebuild is to take them from a mediocre team with no identity to a World Series contender with superstars that are able to change a game without any given notice. If you like the video, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe for more MLB The Show content. Without further ado, the Chicago Cubs 2024 roster. We're looking at the starting pitching right now. We have the aforementioned Shota Imanaga. MLB has him at a 93 overall right now, 30 years old, A potential. Pretty much going to be the ace of this rotation for years going forward. We also have Justin Steele, who's going to be a dominant number 2 to back him up. But then after that, things look pretty murky. Javier Assad, who granted is 81 overall with peak potential, has fallen off a little bit lately. Javier Assad looks really, really good in that picture, by the way. That's an interesting little bug. Cool. Ben Brown, he's a top prospect of ours. He looks to be really, really good. But is he made out to be a starting pitcher, or is he a potential closer of the future? We have Jordan Wicks, top prospect. He's had a little bit of an injury bug this year. He's got one of the filthiest changeups in baseball, even though his card doesn't even have a changeup. Sweet. We have Jameson Taillon, signed 3 more years to his deal, $17 million per year. And we have Kyle Hendricks, last man from the 2016 World Series. He's making quite a bit this year. Probably not looking to keep him moving forward, as we have a plethora of starting pitching options besides him. As far as the prospects go, we have top pitching prospect Cade Horton, who looks to be really, really good, but might be a year or two away still. Besides that, there's not much. We have Michael Rios, and that's it. As far as relievers go, the bullpen has been a huge issue for the Cubs this year. They have Mark Leiter Jr., Keegan Thompson. Besides that, it's just been a bunch of injuries and a bunch of blown saves. So hopefully we can find somebody that can lock things down in the bullpen for us in order for us to make the playoffs this year. As far as catchers go, we have Miguel Amaya and Thomas Nido. Thomas Nido and Miguel Amaya aren't really going to cut it for the future. We're going to be looking to upgrade at catcher substantially, and that is probably our number 1 need right now. We have top prospect Moises Ballesteros at catcher. But, he's a few years away, so we need to look for a nice veteran that we can have locked down the backstop for a few years. First baseman, we have Michael Busch, who's been really, really good in his first season with the Cubs. He looks to be the first baseman of the future for us, can really rake against right-handed pitching, and hopefully his defense doesn't anchor us down too much. We have Nico Horner at second base, kind of taking a step back this year, but overall he's a very, very solid player. Look for him to lock up second base for the duration of his contract extension that he signed before last season. We also have prospect James Triantos, who was top 10 in the Cubs system. Look for him to possibly be the second baseman once Nico Horner phases out in a couple of seasons. Third base, we have Christopher Morel, who's probably got the most potential out of any position player the Cubs have. He's got a lot of power. As you can see in the top left, he's very whitewashed. I don't know what's going on there. But Christopher Morel looks to be really, really good. A lot of power. Defense needs to be worked on, but he does have a cannon. Patrick Wisdom is a serviceable backup. Dansby Swanson, who we have for 6 more seasons at $25 million a year. Kind of a sunk cost we're just going to have to deal with. He's probably going to bat in the bottom half of the lineup pretty consistently here. We just got to hope he provides 4 WAR every season with that defense at least in order for him to make up the value of his contract. We also have Matt Shaw, top prospect for the Cubs. Drafted him in the first round last year. He looks to be really, really good. He's got a really good bat and really sound defense. Look for him to potentially play third base in a couple of seasons here. We also have Ed Howard, former first round pick of the Cubs. He's got C potential, but he's starting to find his way a little bit in single A ball in real life. Jefferson Rojas looks really, really good in real life. He's one of the Cubs' top prospects. We also have Fernando Cruz and Drinichi Valdez, both top international pool signing prospects. Drinichi Valdez, a lot of power. When he fully develops, look for him to have power potentially in the 90s. Going into the outfield, we have Mike Tauchman and Ian Happ manning left field. Neither of those guys, I think, are the future of our positions. We have Ian Happ for 3 more years. Looks awful like Cody Bellinger in that picture. So look for Ian Happ to at least start in the outfield for the next couple seasons while we develop guys. Cody Bellinger, we're going to have for 3 seasons since there's no opt-outs in the game. So we're really excited to have him man center field and potentially left or right field when Pete Crow-Armstrong is ready to man that center fielder every day. Like I said, we have the aforementioned Pete Crow-Armstrong, top prospect. We're going to keep him on the opening day roster and try to start him every day as much as we can. Probably going to let him play over guys like Mike Tauchman, even though Mike Tauchman has better attributes than he does. We also have Brennan Davis at center field, former Cubs #1 prospect who kind of fell off with injuries, but hopefully he can battle back, make his way back to the major league roster. We have Kevin Alcantara, who's really, really athletic, has probably the best tools out of any players in the Cubs system as far as pure athleticism and ceiling goes. Isn't hitting as well as we'd like him to this season, but hopefully he can put things together and be a big part of this team moving forward. And then right field, we have Seiya Suzuki. We've got him for 4 more years, and we're really excited to have him. Defense isn't great, but he's got a really, really good bat. Look for him to be a big part of the lineup going forward. We also have top prospect Owen Casey, who's got a very nice left-handed swing, potentially first base DH going forward. We'll see where he ends up there. And we also have Alexander Canario, who's got a big, big bat with a lot of power versus left-handed pitching, but doesn't do a whole lot well besides that. So look for Alexander Canario to possibly be a platoon option if injuries were to occur. And yeah, that's the team. As far as top prospects go, looking at the MLB top 10, we have Churio, Caminero, Holiday, Skeens, Salas, Walker Jenkins, Jordan Lawler, and James Wood. We also have Matt Clark and Roman Anthony. We don't have any prospects till you get down to 17 where we have PCA. And after that, Kate Horton at 43, Owen Casey at 55. We also have Kevin Alcantara at 66. We have James Triantos at 82, Matt Shaw at 84, Rojas at 87, and Ballesteros at 92. So I think that was 8 prospects in the top 100, very similar to real life. And then by the organization, you can see all of our top prospects here. We have these top 8 that are in the top 100. Michael Bush and Ben Brown are going to be in the major league, so I'm not considering much of prospects anymore. Same with Pete Armstrong. We have Fernando Cruz and Drinichi Valdez, who I just mentioned being the international free agent signings. We have Alexander Canario, who is Major League ready, and Jordan Wicks, who is also Major League ready at 12 and 13. We have Michael Arias, who's got really good strikeout stuff, who is in Double-A right now, but only 2 pitches, so potentially a reliever for us going forward. We have Drew Gray, who battled Tommy John surgery, but he is looking pretty decent as a pitching prospect, number 15 on the Cubs top 20. We have Pedro Ramirez, second baseman. Not really super high on this guy, but he does look like he has some decent hitting tools. Once he gets at his lower mid-20s, we'll see if he can develop then. We have Christian Hernandez, who was a top international prospect signer for the Cubs a few years ago. But he's kind of fallen off as well. He's started hitting again this year. He's got a lot of power. Hopefully going forward, that swing matures and we can have him in the majors in just a few seasons. And then we have Najer Mule, starting pitcher, and Alexis Hernandez, shortstop. And as far as lineups go at the major league level, against right-handed pitching, we have Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger, Seiya Suzuki, Michael Bush, Christopher Morel, Nico Horner, Swanson, Pete Crow-Armstrong, and Miguel Amaya. We're going to have Tauchman, Nito, Bodie, and Wisdom on the bench. Patrick Wisdom potentially coming in against left-handed pitching, maybe for Michael Bush. Mike Tauchman, potentially a late-game pinch hitter where we need him. We have a lot of flexibility there as we have pretty much players that can play all positions on the bench there. Against lefties, we also have Happ leading off. I think Happ's a very nice OBP guy, and I think the leadoff position is where he belongs when he's performing. We have Nico Horner batting second against lefties, Seiya batting third. Then we have Bellinger, Morel, Wisdom, Swanson, Bush, and Amaya. The only swap there is we have Pete Crow Armstrong on the bench instead of Patrick Wisdom. So those are my two platoon options so far. I really, really like the lineup for the AAA level. We have Miles Mastrobuoni and Nick Madrigal in the lineup, who we don't really care for. But besides that, we have top prospects Evan Alcantara, Owen Casey, Matt Shaw, Matt Mervis, Alexander Canario, Moises Ballesteros, and Brennan Davis. Really, really big lineup there who we're going to look to continue developing. We're going to keep a very close eye on them. Double A doesn't really have much besides Jefferson Rojas, James Triantos, and Ed Howard. As far as the pitching rotation goes, we are rocking with Shota Imanaga, Justin Steele, Javier Assad, Wicks, and Tyone. We have Hendricks as the long reliever. We have Tyson Miller, who should be a higher overall. We have Yency Almonte, Mark Leiter. We have Drew Smiley, who can make a long reliever instead. Yency Almonte, Mark Leiter, Hector Neris, Tyson Miller, Keegan Thompson, and I'm actually going to use Ben Brown as my closer to start out. We're going to potentially look to get him in the rotation in the second half of the season. Maybe if we end up having a DFA Kyle Hendricks, or if Jamison Tyone or Jordan Wicks is not performing, Ben Brown is going to be one of those guys where we potentially can move him into the rotation. I also want to show you guys the AAA pitching staff. Really, really good. Our AAA team should be amazing this year. We have Caleb Killian, Chris Clark, Hayden Wesneski, Dan Straley, and top prospect Cade Horton down there in the rotation. For the bullpen, we have Ethan Roberts, who could be on the big league club soon. We have Luke Little, Edwin Escobar, Albert Azale, who is recovering from an injury right now, so that's the reason why I have him in the minors. Daniel Palencia, who can throw gas. We have Carl Edwards Jr., who's not in the 40-man roster, but we're going to keep a close eye on him. And then Julian Merriweather. Those are four or five really good bullpen options we have there. So if there's any injuries or underperformances at the big league level this year, look for us to get the bullpen guys moved around very, very quickly. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into opening day. I think I'm going to play the first 3 innings. In the last 3 innings, we're going to skip 4 through 6 rather. We're going to play the first 3, play the last 3. We are playing on legend difficulty, I should note. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at this game, but obviously, since it's franchise, not ranked seasons, I'm going to take a little bit of a laid-back approach. Obviously, it's going to be tough hitting, the legends' pitch speeds, but we're going to jump into it here. We got Hatt, Bellinger, Suzuki, Bush, Morel, Horner, Swanson, PCA, and Miguel Amaya. Pete Armstrong, hoping to get his first major league hit, as he went 0 for 12 in the 2023 season, and Shota Imanaga is making his first big league start. Singing the national anthem. All right, we are facing 3-time award winner Max Scherzer. He won in 2013, 2016, and 2017. He's recovering from an injury in real life. It's fair to say his best days are behind him, but let's see if he can, squeeze out 1 or 2 more good years for the Rangers. Looking at Ian Happ, he's got Cody Bellinger's face scan. Gonna have to fix that. Don't know how that happens. But first pitch in there for a strike, and that's how we kick off the 2024 season. Taking a nice at bat here from the leadoff pitcher. Got a 1-2 count here, and we swing and miss at a slur right down the middle for out number 1 of the season. Popped up with Cody Bellinger. That's going to be out number 2. Putting together some pretty bad at-bats here so far. We are way ahead of a slider, and we are way behind a fastball. And then for this franchise, I am actually going to take off the pinpoint pitching. I feel like it's very, very easy to dot up the CPU batters, and it's very, very easy to pitch really well, even on legend difficulty. So we're going to go ahead and just use classic pitching, rely on the RNG a little bit here and see how that goes. But we'll see how it goes for this game. If we don't like it, maybe we'll switch it up. Maybe we'll do pulse pitching or something like that. Hard lineup right to Cody Bellinger. That's out number 1 on the season as we get Leota Tavares to fly out. Got Josh Young here, nice young player. I believe third baseman for the Texas Rangers. Try to get him to bite at a curveball downstairs. Hung it a little bit right there in the zone. Caught him looking for strike 3. First major league strikeout for Shota Imanaga. And right up the middle for Out number 3. We get a quick inning there from Shota Imanaga. I believe it was only 8 or 9 pitches, so let's just keep it moving right on to the second inning here. Right up the middle for Michael Busch. A sliding stop by Corey Seager to get the out. 105 mile an hour off the bat to rob Michael Busch of his first hit on the young season. Oh, popped it up to center field there. The timing was good. PCI was just a little bit off there. So we're going to do a weak little fly out for out number 2. It brings up Nico Horner, who had a pretty good season last year for his standards. High average. OPS isn't going to really get above 750, but he plays Gold Glove defense. And yeah, that's what you expect from Nico Horner. A little bloop single perhaps, and out number 3. We didn't strike out at all that inning, but we had 3 pretty quick outs. Popped it up to Michael Busch. Easy out number 1. Trying to work this splitter down in the bottom part of the zone to get swings and misses over top of it. Dotted it on the corner there, but got a foul ball. Let's go back to the fastball, see if we can get something on the outer half. Right down the middle. But regardless, Christopher Morel cannons that ball over there. Out number 2 of the second inning. Ooh, off the foot of Shota Imanaga to Swanson. Ooh, the 1-6-3 put out does not go through. We just hope Shota Imanaga's okay. There's an injury on the mound. Everyone's holding their breath here at Globe Life. Let's see what happens. He's good. We're good. Little ground ball to Horner to end the inning. Still 0-0 going into the third here. Let's see if we can get something going on offense. Oh, Dansby Swanson. Perfect PCI. Perfect swing. But way underneath it. It's going to be a fly out right in front of the warning track for out number 1. Probably one of the best swings we had so far. But for some reason, we got way underneath of it. Got Pete Armstrong here trying to get his first major league hit. See if he can do it against Hall of Famer Max Scherzer. Another foul ball. We're on the 8th pitch of the at-bat here. Pete Armstrong putting up a really good at-bat versus Max. See what we can do. Hard ground ball right to the second baseman for out number 2. Miguel Amaya got a decent PCI on that, just a little bit behind it. Miguel Amaya is an instant out anyway. But we advance to the third inning. Make sure Shota Imanaga does his thing in order to keep us in this ball game. Trying to go for that down and away splitter, get him swing on top of it. Another foul ball. Not getting a lot of swings and misses on that splitter so far. It's been a lot of foul balls, weak contact. Get a ground ball up the middle. Swanson dives for it, deflects it, cannot make the play. It's going to be a base hit for Wyatt Langford. In his first major league career hit at that. Back to the top of the order, facing Leody Taveras. We leave another pitch right down the middle, and Leody lines out to Cody Bellinger for the second time this game. Out number 1 for the third inning here. All right, we struck out Josh Young in the first inning. Got an 0-2 count on him here. See if we can get a curveball down in the zone. We wanted a little bit farther down, but Young did not bite at that at all. Going with the down and away splitter. Can't get him to bite on that. Throwing a lot of pitches here with Imanaga. Not getting a lot of pitches on the outside of the zone. Amaya can't block a pitch, even though that was pretty hard to block. So, got a full count here. See what we can do. Pop out. Blowing the fastball right by him. Josh Young 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Imanaga gets his second strikeout of the season. Only guy he's seemingly figured out how to strike out so far. Corey Seager up with a guy on second base. Let's hope Imanaga can come through for us. Wow. Ump is giving us that paint. Let's try and get a splitter out there as well. And we get a swing and a miss, strike 3, Corey Seager. Not willing to fight off that outer part of the plate, or looking to fight off that outer part of the plate with that strike 2 call. It is the 4th inning, so we are going to actually go ahead and quick manage this game all the way to the sixth inning or seventh inning here, so let's see what happens. Bellinger singles, Suzuki singles. Morel gets an RBI single. First run of the Cubs season comes on a Morel RBI single. It looks like we're tied up 1-1. Scherzer still pitching in the sixth inning here. And we are in the top of the seventh, and it is a 1-1 ball game, and we're going to jump right back into it. Christopher Morel coming up. Last where we left off, he had an RBI single. Let's see what he can do this time. Now, I will say, Scherzer having 65 pitches in the seventh inning isn't ideal, so let's hopefully try to get him out in the next inning or two here. Hopefully, oh, should get a base hit there with Christopher Morel. He is 2 for 3 on the day. Cubs don't have any extra base hits, but we're just going to try and keep it moving here. So Imanaga already at 87 pitches here. We have Mark Leiter Jr. warming up in the bullpen. Going to try to get Shota through 7, but at any sign of trouble, we're going to go ahead and get him out. Probably any base runner allowed. Big swing and a miss from Jonah Heim here. Let's see if we can get him with the splitter down and in. Get a ground ball to second. Nico Horner makes the easy play for out number 1. Minutely. Shota, you can't be hanging that. We're running out of energy here at Imanaga. This is his 98th pitch of the game. Nathaniel Lowe keeps on fighting. 1 for 1 on the day with a walk as well. Seen Shota Imanaga pretty well, and we have another full count here. Probably going to be the last batter of the game for Imanaga here as we get another foul off. That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. So now we're on the 9th pitch of the at-bat here. Going to throw him a slur for the first time. See if we can get him to bite. And he does. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Shota Imanaga. That is his 6th strikeout of his Major League debut. And that's going to go ahead and be it for him as we're going to put in the light show Mark Leiter. And as soon as Mark Leiter comes into the game, he's going to give up a base hit to the number 8 hitter, Ezekiel Duran. It's going to leave Wyatt Langford to see if he can bring in the tying run. Hopefully we can get him out. Get the down and away sinker here. Hopefully we can do something with that. At a 1-2 count. They're going to try and get him with an outside cutter. See if we can potentially get him to roll over or pop it up. That's exactly what he does, but not to our avail. Gives me another tutorial for some reason. Kind of annoying at this point, but that's okay. Got to get this guy out, Mark. Lined out right to Chris Morel on a curveball that bled right down the middle, but we got out of it, so that's all that matters. We managed to get Max Scherzer out of the game here, and we're facing left-handed pitcher Brock Burke, who's got us in an 0-2 count already. Peaker Armstrong 0 for 2, still looking for his first Major League hit. See if we can battle back from this and get that hit. Make that full count. Started us off in an 0-2 count, but has not been able to find the zone since. He's throwing 4 sliders so far, only 1 fastball. Goes to the fastball, a little behind it, but hopefully it can bloop in for us. It does not, as the routine play is made with Wyatt Langford there in left field. Ooh, Miguel Amaya punching the ball in the right field for a base hit. Bringing up the top of the order here. Let's see if we can bring that runner around. Oh. Deep ball, deep left field, and it is caught. Routine play for Wyatt Langford. Got a pretty good swing on that, but Ian Happ just doesn't have the power to get that over the left fielder's head. Terrible swing by me. Bottom half. We're going to leave Mark Leiter in. He's only got 8 pitches. We got a couple of guys warming up. See if we can avoid bringing them in for at least the first part of this inning. Try to get Josh Jung, who's 0 for 3 so far. Had a pair of punch-outs courtesy of Shota Imanaga earlier. Must not be doing a whole lot. I believe I just threw a changeup up and in. Love that for me. And it worked. Josh Jung having a pretty tough day here. 3 strikeouts for him in the first game of the year. I got the 0-1 count on Corey Seager. Throw a 12-6 curveball here. See if we can get him a chase for the strikeout. Ooh, we don't. That was a really good pitch. See if we can get him with a splitter here. That's Mark Leiter Jr.'s best pitch when he's on. We got it, and Corey Seager finds a way to foul it away. Gonna go with a sinker down and away. Trying to get a ground ball to Dansby Swanson. We don't. Instead, he fouls it off. We're gonna go ahead and do it again. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Try to jam a cutter in on his hand. See if we can get the location. We don't. That's gonna make the count full. Got down and away splitter. See if we can locate it. We don't. He checks, and he does not go, and that is a walk for Corey Seager. Fastball leaking right down the middle. Adolis Garcia is going to hit a 2-run home run to go ahead and take the lead, potentially put the Cubs away on opening day here. That's going to bring in Hector Neris. Mark Leiter's day is done. See what we can do. Just try to get out of the inning at this point. Another decently hit ball there. This time right to Ian Happ. That's going to be out number 2 of the inning. And that's going to be ground ball to Swanson. And the final out of the inning. If there is a positive about the 9th inning here, I believe we do have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. Should be, am I wrong? Is it Cody Bellinger leading off the inning here? And in comes the closer. He's here to slam the door. We'll see what he can do. David Robertson coming in to pitch against Seiya Suzuki, Michael Busch, and Christopher Morel. Bellinger made that last out of the last inning. See, we just got to get on base here. That is absolutely disgusting on Legend. Holy cow. Base hit right up the middle for Seiya Suzuki. Just got to keep that line moving. Cutter right down the middle that we took right back at it. Now we got Michael Busch. A 2-run home run here would be absolutely incredible. But we're just going to try to get on base here. And right to the center fielder. 98 miles an hour off the bat, but we cannot get the result. Couple times that's happened for this game where we had a couple really hard hit balls. Just can't really find a way to get it to land. Now we got Christopher Morel here with 1 out in the 9th inning. At some point at this at bat, I'd like to get into a nice hit and run situation, or situation where I can get the runner moving to eliminate the double play. I don't know if the risk is really worth the reward there. I just don't really want to hit a ground ball here against David Robertson and end the game just like that. I want to give myself the best chance possible. Now we got a 1-2 count here with 1 out in the 9th inning. See if Chris Morel can help tie the game. Perfect. Down the line. That's going to be a double. That's going to eliminate any thought of a double play. And we're going to have the tying run at second base and the go-ahead run at the plate. All right, now we got Nico Horner here in a situation where all we need is a base hit up the middle. Let's see if that's what we can get provided with Nico Horner. Swinging at the circle change. Got an 0-1 count. But a pretty decent swing on there. Just need the PCI to be a little bit better. Got a high tension situation here. And we're going to chop it. Going to get the runner over to third base. The runner is going to score. Put a decent swing on that, but unfortunately we just got on top of it, put it right into the ground. Had a good PCI, good timing. Just an unfortunate swing there. Now we need a base hit for Dansby Swanson in order to tie the game. And that is going to do it here. Unless Swanson can beat it out, he cannot. And the Texas Rangers are going to take the opening day victory over the Chicago Cubs. 3-2 is your final. Mark Leiter Jr. is going to take the loss. Looking at the box score here, Happ, Bellinger each had a hit. Seiya Suzuki had a pair of hits. Christopher Morel had 3 hits, including an RBI double. Miguel Amaya had the base hit as well. Morel having the only extra base hit on the day. Morel was also caught stealing at some point of the game. We also have Shota Imanaga, 6 2/3 inning, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Mark Leiter had a really hard time. In 2/3 of an innings, he gave up 3 hits, 1 walk, and 2 runs while recording a strikeout. Hector Neris looked good in 2/3 of an inning of work. We're going to sim out the rest of the series against the Rangers here. Jose Cuas did get claimed off the waivers from the Oakland Athletics. We did DFA him, kind of like the Cubs did in real life. We're starting out the season 1-1. Hide the face cam a little bit here so we can see the whole month of April. So we actually ended up winning the series from the Texas Rangers. We won the second game 3-2 off of a Kyle Hendricks bullpen performance. Go ahead and look at the box score there. Justin Steele must have pitched one heck of a game. 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs allowed with only 3 strikeouts here. Looks like Miguel Amaya had a double. Michael Busch had 2 RBIs. Cody Bellinger had the RBI. Busch having 1 hit. But that 5 through 7 or 5 through 8 of the order struggled. And then we had a very big victory here, 8-1 for our third game of the season. Another really good pitching performance. Javier Assad went 7 innings, only giving up 1 run. As far as the hitting goes, Miguel Amaya has really been hitting so far. Busch and Morel have also really been hitting. Bellinger and Suzuki got a hit as well. Pretty much every single person in the lineup got a hit other than Ian Happ. So pretty impressive performance there. In the next episode, look for us to play maybe a game against the Rockies and maybe go ahead and sim a lot of this month of April. But as always, if you guys enjoyed the franchise video, make sure you like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.